our value as women has been tied to specifically how we allow men to treat us. This is how our value basically is seen when it comes to people saying, oh, that's a high value woman. But our value is deeper than who got the ring and who didn't get the ring. Our value is deeper than how many babies we had with however many men. Because our value is also typically tied to societally, how many babies this woman has had with however many men. It's deeper than that. Our value is deeper than that. Peace, and prosperity. Welcome back to Earth's Feminine. This is Asaya, and I'm back with another video. So in today's video and in my next few videos that I'm going to be making on my channel, I'm going to be taking time to respond to all of the questions that I have gotten on my channel more individually from Christmas season and New Year season. There were so many questions that I got that I wanted to respond to individually, but it's really just much better to make a video so that everyone in the Earth Feminine community can benefit from this knowledge and this wisdom. So that is what today's video is going to be on. I'm going to be talking about what does it actually mean to be a high value woman. And not only that, I just want to shout out the Earth Feminine community, all of the women who have subscribed to my channel. I know I have a handful of men on my channel as well. Shout out to y'all as well who are genuinely here to learn and better yourselves when it comes to understanding the Earth's feminine energy, how the Earth's feminine energy is connected to us all, and how as women we have been conditioned out of our naturalness, our authenticity of womanhood, our primal feminine energy. Okay, so shout out to all of you who have commented, who have engaged, who have shared their stories, shared your own wisdom, shared your own knowledge. I love you so much. I appreciate you so much, and thank you so much for being here. If you are interested in learning the top 3 things that you need to embody today in order to release your anxiety, desperation, and fear around receiving money and receiving love from men, then you need to sign up for my Wealthy Woman Activation Training. The link to that is down below. And within my Wealthy Woman Activation Training page, this is the only place you will be able to also sign up for the Soft Life Experience. If you are wanting to understand how to begin to have men financially support you, then this is the class that you need to go ahead and add on to the Wealthy Woman Activation. The link to that is down below in the description. And without further ado, let's hop straight into the video. Here is the question that I received that I'm going to be diving into this video, and it says, "Hi, so lately for a long time I have been struggling to find my value as a woman. I also was in a situationship with a man who either valued me so much or devalued me. I was deeply dependent on the view he had of me or the view I perceived he had of me. My feelings and emotions about myself went up and down with him, and I ended up feeling extremely devalued and worthless. I was wondering if you could provide some guidance or orientation on how to find it again or discover it. I also have a question around the terms that are used so often, such as high value or quality woman, or low value or low quality woman, which is used with men too, like high value men or low value men. What does that mean? There is just something about that which doesn't sit right. I don't know if it is a trigger of mine or if there is something just off about it. Okay, so this is a wonderful and an amazing question, because this is not only was this something already on my mind to speak on, but it really does bring to the forefront of the question of, well, what does it actually mean to be a high value woman? And why does calling ourselves high value, or calling other women high value or low value, why does it give this feeling? Because I don't know about y'all, but for me, it gives off this feeling of pretentiousness, of, snobbiness, of I'm better than you. But the reason being is because usually the value that most people tie to what it means to be a high value woman has nothing to do with being an actual high value woman, but it has to do with our relationship with men, and how well or how much men or the man in our life is validating us. Okay, when we receive that male validation, there's just something about the female ego that goes through the roof. And it's not a healthy female ego. It is the female ego that has not really come to terms with who she is and what her true value is as a woman. I talk about this in what women are meant to be accountable for video. I dive a little deeper into, what the female ego, a woman's ego, and how the validation that she receives from men can make her a little big-headed and feel like she can look down on other women, she can think less than other women, and things like that. And because of this validation that she receives from a man or from other men, it also blinds her to the truth that she is a woman, period. She's a woman, period. And she can experience the same things that this quote unquote low value woman experiences too. She's not special, right? But this male validation, being validated by a man, it can be anything. It could just really just be a man loving you and devoting himself to you. If you're not a healthy woman, that is going to go to your head, to your ego, in a way that puts down other women instead of uplifts other women. So you are not wrong for feeling like something is off with the way people use the term high value and low value, because the way that people use it today has nothing to do with the true value of who we are as women, and also for men as well. They do the same thing with men. A high value man is a man who, especially in the red pill community, makes a lot of money, and I don't know, makes a lot of money, gets to the bag. That's the main thing that I hear in the red pill community. And that doesn't make you a high value man either, because you have money. So, high value women are the women who get the ring, right? The women who are treated like goddesses and worshipped by men specifically, right? And women who are low value, who are low quality, they're typically a man's placeholder, or they're typically the woman that a man plays with and toys with and doesn't value, doesn't feel the need to marry, um, these are typically what we are told is the definition of being a valuable woman. Our value as women in this sense is tied to how men choose to treat us, something that we have absolutely no control over. We do have control over how we allow a man to treat us, but we do not have control over how men choose to treat us. Our value as women has been tied to specifically how we allow men to treat us. This is how our value basically is seen when it comes to people saying, oh, that's a high value woman, right? But our value is deeper than who got the ring and who didn't get the ring. Okay? Our value is deeper than how many babies we had with however many men. Because our value is also typically tied to societally, how many babies this woman has had with however many men. It's deeper than that. Our value is deeper than that. Our value is deeper than our outward looks and appearance. It is deeper than that because we all know about pretty privilege and how when we look a certain way, or we definitely, women have been brainwashed to think if they look a certain way, especially Black women, that they will have an easier time in life, that they will have a better experience in life. And there are a lot of things in our external reality that will validate these beliefs. So we've got to get to a point where we realize that this is not what makes us valuable. This is not what makes us worthy as women. It is not these things. Our value can be tasted from these measures, how well we are treated in our relationships with men, what we choose to do with our body, and how well we raise and rear our children and the family that we create, and our health and our beauty. Yes, our value can be tasted from these measures. I say tasted because these are not the ingredients to a valuable woman, but it is the flowering of the innately valuable woman. Okay? So our value can be tasted from these measures, but not fully defined from these things. The level of protection and spiritual and material elevation that we gain when we treat ourselves with love, with reverence, and respect. This is where that external value that we have attributed to the money, the man, the car, the clothes, the looks, right? It's all intrinsic. Okay, it's all coming from these internal places of inner self love, self respect, and reverence for our feminine divine. So, what does it actually mean to be a high value woman? Should we even be calling ourselves a high value woman or a low value woman? Should we even be using these terms? Before I answer these questions, if you are interested in working with me in discovering your value and worth in relationships with men and also in your finances, Valued and Worthy is the program for you. So there are currently a couple ways that you can sign up and enroll into the course. The first way is you can enroll into the self-paced course. Valued and Worthy is the course that teaches you essentially how to manifest your dream love and also manifesting windfalls of money. These are the techniques that I use to manifest my $10,000 sweepstakes win when I set my intention to begin manifesting money from all places and in ways that involved zero labor and effort from me on my part. Okay, this is the course that is getting you back in touch with the only things you really need to occupy yourself with as a woman to remain in your femininity, to remain in your feminine divine, to live life truly as you are meant to live it. We are not supposed to be out here struggling and having all of these horror stories with men about how horrible men are treating us, how they're devaluing us, how they're minimizing us to just situationships. We're not supposed to be going through that, okay? Really, we are supposed to be experiencing the creme de la creme of treatment when it comes to men. And the conditioning of this world has wired us out of receiving that, has forced us to believe that that reality actually doesn't exist, and that the world is full of horrible narcissistic men. And the truth is that that's not true. The reason that we're experiencing this is because there is an elevation of feminine energy that we are experiencing on the planet right now. So the quicker you can get into the frame of stepping into the woman that receives high value treatment from men, developing a phenomenal relationship with money, you're being stressed out and controlled by money, by finances. All of our decisions are being based off of whether we have it or whether we don't. And that in and of itself is a reflection of our relationship with life and also with men. Valued and Worthy is the course that is completely transforming your relationship with that. So if you're interested in signing up, the link to that is down below in my description box. If you are wanting to sign up to receive group and one-on-one coaching with me, then you need to send me a DM to my Instagram at Earth Feminine, and I will send you the details to that. Though the way most people have been using the terms high value and low value tends to come off as, to me, very pretentious and unrelatable. Like when women use these terms, it's almost as if like you've never experienced, right, the things that you're talking about, right? So it comes off as a bit pretentious and unrelatable when women are talking about, oh, this is a high value woman and this is a low value woman. You can still gauge how high and low we may be vibrating through looking at the behaviors entangled in what's high value and what's low value, okay? So everybody has value in life. We know that. We should know that, okay? And the measure of that value comes down to our perception of how we see things, how we see other people, etc. But not everyone is on a high frequency. Not everyone is vibrating at a high place. So the lower our vibration, the lower our frequency is, the more we will tend to attract and experience low vibrational experiences, like being treated a certain way by men. When I say a certain way, I mean the placeholder woman, the woman who doesn't get what she wants, the woman who is walked all over, blah, 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 blah. But we also need to understand that a woman's vibration can be lowered by men. So not only can it be lowered by men, it can be lowered by our environment. It can be lowered by anything, but really it's only when we are giving our power away. Our power is our emotional currency, which can be accessed through our womb, our heart, and our mind. These are the sacred seats of the feminine, these sacred feminine areas of life. Really is our womb, aka our sacral, our heart, and our mind. So it does benefit us to see ourselves as high frequency, to walk in a higher form by distinguishing, okay, what is the highest version of ourselves and what isn't, and using the terms high vibrational, high frequency, or even high value can serve to do that, because we need to be able to see, okay, this is not a part of my highest version, and this is. So we need to have a certain level of discrimination in order to achieve the highest version of ourselves. Being a high value, high vibrational, high frequency woman simply means that you are living in the embodiment of your highest self. You're the highest version of who you are, the goddess form of you. And for whatever reason, maybe due to trauma, maybe due to brainwashing, you feel the need to people please and come outside of yourself in order to receive the validation of a man. Because remember, societally, our value as a woman is completely intertwined with men and how well that they treat us. Okay, so this is where a lot of women abandon themselves, they leave themselves, and their vibration starts to lower in relationship to men. Okay, hence the question that I read earlier of how she just began to feel worse and worse about herself. And by the time the relationship was over, she felt completely like horrible, right? There are benefits to this, which I teach you in Valued and Worthy, right? Like, these experiences are valuable and actually setting the stage for your best glow up, your best experiences in that life can give you. What will keep you from experiencing that next level in your manifestation all comes down to how you manage and channel your energy when it comes to you manifesting that reality for yourself. People pleasing, okay? Becoming the people pleasing woman. I go deeper into this in my other video where I talk about how to tap into your feminine energy through the planet of Venus. I also talk about the distorted Venusian woman's energy a bit in my Sacred Masculine video, where I break down the planetary influences over masculinity today and why men tend to act in the ways that they act, in the aligned ways, in the unaligned ways. So all of that has a feminine reflection, a feminine counterpart. Okay. And Venus is tied in there. But one of the biggest things that I talk about on this channel, that I started off this channel talking about, is that Venus is not the dominant feminine energy of the planet. The earth is. And because we think that it's Venus, because we've been programmed to believe that it's Venus, because the symbol of Venus is put on every feminine thing you can think of, we it's like we put too much energy into Venus, and we end up expressing Venus in her detriment. And Venus in her detriment, again, I go into that in my tapping into your feminine energy through Venus video. Um, but this has heavily to do with why women tend to abandon themselves and over validate their worth and their value when it comes to men. Yes, we do it to ourselves. We can blame society as much as we want, but we are buying into it. The question is, why? The earth does not people please. She stands she stands her ground. She is who she is. And there is no budging. There is no compromising. Why would I? I'm the earth, right? I'm the reason that you have life. I'm the reason that your heart is beating right now. Like, that is the energy that all women should be tapped into and connected to. And this is what should be at the core of our value, of how we see our value, is in relationship to the earth. Your highest version, especially pulling on that energy of the earth, stands in her truth, and her truth is rooted in her highest version, the highest version of herself, her most expanded version of herself. Okay, this is why I'm getting into my astrology here, because Again, I am originally an astrologer. I started my YouTube journey off as an esoteric astrologer. But Jupiter has this relationship with the earth that brings this expansion, right? When we expand into our highest version, we can truly be seated and grounded into the truth of who we are and manifest all of the things that we want to experience here on earth, which is love, which is wealth, which is money, health, happiness, family, all the things. So you being in your dream version of yourself, you actively pouring into that and then starving and ignoring all of the things that don't align with that version is you being in your highest version of yourself, is you being a high value woman. So that means you need to ask yourself, if you're currently in a situationship, is my highest version in a situationship? No, I know my highest version isn't. And so if a situationship is what I'm experiencing, then that no longer gets any of my attention, any of my energy, any of my anything. It's completely starved from my reality. That's not who I am. Okay? So if your highest self doesn't do situationships, then that's not a part of your reality. And that is something that you have to apply to every aspect of your life. Does this align with my highest version, or does it not align with my highest version? This is what I believe it actually means to be a high value woman. Let me know, what do y'all think about this video in the comments? Have you all experienced anything similar to the question that was asked? Have you also had a distaste or weird feeling about the way people use the term high value, low value? I know I even talk about this in my natural hair video. Is like, oh, certain types of hair high value and certain types of hair isn't high value, is low value, you know? So I think there's really does need to be some real definition behind high value women, what it means to be a valuable woman that isn't just associated with male validation and what the men in your life have validated as valuable and worthy, because that isn't what gives you worth. Okay, men honor and worship the things that we value and honor and worship in ourselves. And the more we pour into those attributes and parts of ourselves, the more beautiful, the more embellished, the more vibrant those parts of ourselves become. And men will have no choice but to value and honor and worship those things. So a lot of what we think is valuable because of male validation is really just coming from our own internalized misogyny, our own self-deprecation. So really begin to love yourself again, appreciate yourself, and embrace the highest version of yourself. Thank you so much for watching this video. I love you so much. Again, make sure you hit the links in the description if you are interested in manifesting devotional love and feminine flows of money into your reality. This is Asaya, and I will see you all in my next video. Peace.